Nearly 200 years ago, a city was carved from the angry bluffs of the Missouri River. First as a trading post, then as a permanent riverfront settlement, the town of Kansas prospered and spread beyond the bluffs. Railroads, the cattle industry, and manufacturing fueled its fledgling economy. By the 1890s, civic leaders planned for a Kansas City of greater civility and culture. A streetcar city with great edifices and a world-class parks and boulevard system emerged from the mud and grit of a frontier cattle town. With the turn of the century, Kansas City expanded southward. Local real estate entrepreneur J.C. Nichols began to build his vision for a new planned community known as the Country Club District. The Country Club Plaza became a regional shopping destination, and neighborhoods such as Warnell Homestead, Armour Hills, Armour Fields, and others followed. Neighborhood shopping clusters such as Crestwood and Brookside, girded by the Country Club streetcar line, were strategically placed to serve these neighborhoods. In March 1925, Bishop Thomas Lillis summoned a former Army chaplain and assistant pastor at Visitation Parish, Father Thomas McKay, to the chancery. He announced to Father McKay that he was to be put in charge of a parish, to be located at Meyer Boulevard and Home Street. Bishop Lillis added, "There's not much there now, but someday it will be the site of a great cathedral." St. Peter's had humble beginnings. Father McKay found a cornfield and a two-story farmhouse, a relic of the Civil War. With some paint and soap and water, a rectory was established. The parish initially had 75 to 80 Catholic families, but no space to worship. A search yielded no suitable temporary space, so Father McKay hit upon the idea of a temporary church, modeled after the military buildings he had seen during the Great War. Upon the high elevation of the cornfield was erected a corrugated metal building known as the Tinned Cathedral, to serve as God's house and to help unify the burgeoning parish community. The parish grew quickly, and through pledges and fundraising events soon retired its initial debt. By February 1928, St. Peter's took on its most ambitious program to date, the construction of a new school building. The English Gothic stone building was completed in time for the September 1929 school year, and 115 pupils were greeted at St. Peter's School by the Sisters of Mercy. Within that building, in what is now the school gym, parishioners also celebrated Mass. St. Peter's soon became a center for community life, offering religious talks and cultural activities for both Catholics and non-Catholics. And as the country emerged from the Great Depression, St. Peter's began construction on the second unit of the parish, a new rectory. The initial years of planning and parish building culminated in the construction of a new church in 1946. Upon its completion, it received national recognition for its design artistry and construction, a tribute to the vision and generosity of early parishioners. St. Peter's continued to grow in its activities and missions. In 1953 and again in 1963, the school, originally designed for 350 students, was expanded. As time passed, playfields were turned into parking lots. An outdoor courtyard was created, and the parish halls, sanctuary, and school cafeteria, known as the Garden Room, were refurbished. And the parish, church, school, and surrounding neighborhoods prospered. Today, St. Peter's lies in a strategic position in Southtown, Kansas City. The parish reflects the diversity of the city itself, socially, racially, and economically. Its ministries serve the elderly, youth, families, those in economic need, other local communities, and missions in foreign lands. Over the last several decades, many families chose to leave Kansas City for a more suburban lifestyle. But St. Peter's Church and School remain bastions of stability in urban Kansas City, providing an important anchor for the community and helping to sustain neighborhood property values. As St. Peter's programs have grown, buildings and spaces have been pushed to their limits and beyond. Parish offices now extend into the rectory. Meetings are sometimes difficult to arrange because of space conflicts. Some programs function in makeshift spaces. To date, St. Peter's School serves over 500 students and is the second largest Catholic grade school in the diocese. It thrives, but amid extreme overcrowding, the parish, founded on an open field, is now landlocked, with few options left for expansion. While recent renovations improved quality and access at the church, the school does not meet currently accepted educational and accessibility standards. Many spaces for classrooms, offices, libraries, physical education, and other essential activities are either inappropriately placed or are undersized. Faced with these challenges, St. Peter's embarked 2 years ago on a plan for its future. During a series of town hall meetings, parishioners identified important issues, reviewed options, and defined future parish directions. The youth of the parish was a major concern, but meeting participants also wanted programs for families, seniors, adult education, fine arts, health, and fitness. Participants further agreed that the plan must address space needs for the church, adequate meeting rooms and office space, a parish resource center, dedicated areas for programs, and a multi-purpose assembly facility. School needs include adequate classrooms, administrative space, a library, better outdoor play areas, a multi-purpose space for physical education, arts, and assembly, better storage, and better access to those with disabilities. With so many needs, how should St. Peter's approach its future? Parishioners recognized that no action was not an option. Could the solution lie in alliances with nearby parishes, particularly for church-related programs? But after careful consideration, a building program seemed the best choice. So during the past year, St. Peter's acted to secure property and plan improvements in greater detail. Let's take a brief look at a new vision for St. Peter's Parish. Cars pull into a drop-off lane along Meyer Boulevard for church and school events. It safely accommodates processions for weddings and funerals, as well as carpools at the school. The parish agrees with its neighbor to the east, Meyer Boulevard United Methodist Church, to pursue a common green space to augment the parish courtyard on part of Charlotte Street. This park setting would provide a much-needed green space for a leisurely stroll or children's play, as well as an active space for church festivals or ecumenical celebrations involving both faith communities. A new multi-purpose center provides space for youth and seniors, adult fitness, and volleyball and basketball for both youth and adults. At long last, St. Peter's School can host a home basketball game. The space can be transformed into a theater with suitable lighting and sound systems. It houses a variety of community activities, from parish festivals to dances to educational programs to citywide peace and justice forums. With the construction of this building, the existing school gymnasium is converted into much-needed classroom and library space, alleviating overcrowding in the school and creating a learning environment equal to the school's reputation. Over time, accessibility and circulation problems are also addressed. Changes in the rectory allow for its redevelopment as a parish center. Adequate offices, conference and counseling rooms, and a resource library serve both existing and future ministries. What you have seen is a vision, a dream reflecting the facility needs and desires of the St. Peter's faith community at a defining moment in its history. A beacon to guide St. Peter's on its journey into the 21st century. It is a vision that will only be realized over time, one step at a time. This new vision echoes an earlier moment, that day in 1925 when Bishop Lillis and Father McKay envisioned a great cathedral rising from a humble cornfield. Down through the years, many pastors and many parishioners have invested in that early vision, and in so doing they bequeath to us a legacy. Now is our moment, our opportunity to join that priceless legacy with a new dream. And that dream, fulfilled, will be a new legacy for the enduring faith community we call St. Peter's.